Jeez, I have 5 shots left. I have no ammo and I was shot through a door.
Well, that was unfortunate.
What? I just got shot through a door. This game fucking sucks. So, Apex Legends. The game recently hasn't been doing so hot, and I wanted to make a video about how I've been finding it recently, how my experience has been with the game. Honestly, most of my content so far has been tutorial based, more about learning how to play the game, things like that. But recently, obviously, I played the game a decent amount, and I've been finding it harder and harder to play consistently. And this is a video I've been making for a while, and it's a bit late now with the recent release of Season 2. I just wanted to play a bit of that first and make sure that they hadn't fixed a lot of the problems that I have with the game that are stopping me from enjoying it as much. And unfortunately, a lot of the issues haven't been changed. So what I'm going to do in this video is go over some of the issues I still have, some of the issues that were present before Season 2, and hopefully we can get to the bottom of why Apex Legends still isn't getting any traction past its first couple of months, and hopefully get it solved. So the first thing I want to talk about is the progression system. So progression has always been a really limited thing in Apex Legends from launch. When the game launched, progression was purely based on loot ticks, which you received every level. But these stopped after level 100 and even got rarer after, I think it was level 20, which gave you less and less reason to continue playing the game, which is, in my opinion, a flawed design. You should always have some kind of motivation or reward for playing the game a lot, even if it is free to play. At that point, there was absolutely nothing to grind the game out for. This is pre-season 1 I'm talking about. So this gave players no reason to play. No, there were no stat leaderboards, there was nothing to strive for. And all of the stats in the game were legend specific. All that does, in my opinion, is encourage people to one-trick. For me, I just one-tricked Wraith, and I just wanted to get as many kills as possible. Then after I hit about the 1,000 mark on Wraith, there was nothing really for me to grind for now. As far as I saw it, after 1,000 kills, there wasn't really much point in continuing on. So, I know at this point the game is still kind of in its early stages. It has been out for a couple of months now, so I would expect it to be a bit better. I didn't expect, like a lot of other content creators or streamers, I didn't expect a ranked system yet. Because I know that can take a while to get working and to figure out. And I do feel as though they've rushed that a bit because people wanted it. I know that a lot of their own streamers wanted ranked, and I do agree that there should be some kind of ranked system to promote playing the game a lot, but I just think it is extremely early to try and add a system like that before they've actually sorted out much more serious problems in their game. So they could have added a lot to the progression system with the introduction of the Battle Pass system that you find in the likes of Fortnite and other Battle Royale games. They have the similar thing in Blackout. They probably have it in PUBG now. It's not a game I play. But the Season 1 Battle Pass was remarkably underwhelming. It was so eagerly anticipated. The game launched. It was a huge hit. People were loving it. They loved the mechanics. They loved the fighting in it. Everyone was having fun learning the mechanics. That was just starting to tail off. You know, people were getting good. They were running out of content, and everyone was hyped up and waiting for the Season 1 Battle Pass. You know, that'll breathe life anew into the game, and that'll give us all the more reason to play. Then the Battle Pass dropped. All of the items in it were remarkably underwhelming. The only really good skin in the whole Battle Pass was the Havoc skin at the end, and the Havoc's a gun that isn't particularly good. It would take a very long time of grinding to get to that kind of level of the Battle Pass, and you weren't really getting rewarded for your grind in the midterm, so there wasn't really much of a point. The Season Pass was just disappointing with subpar rewards. This is when doubt over the game's lifespan started to come in my head. When that Battle Pass was announced and I saw everyone's reaction, I started to think, oh, this game might not last. I'd always thought, this is a very good battle royale game. Battle royales are popular. It's going to last. I never realized the importance of these constant updates. A game like Fortnite, not a game I particularly enjoy myself, but I understand why it's so popular. It's constantly changing, constantly getting updates. So there's always something new in the game. There's always challenges to do. There's always something to do. I did get lulled into the feeling that Respawn knew what they were doing with this game when they launched it. I think I was wrong about that. When the game launched, I assumed that they had an idea of what they were going to do. They knew where they were going with the game, what releases they were going to make, but I don't think they do. The season even came with no map changes whatsoever, so people were just playing the exact same map. It didn't come with really any substantial weapon changes or balances. All of the servers were still buggy, which is actually the main problem I would say I have with the game, is the buggy servers. And I'll get onto that a bit more later. And another problem, or a lack of something being introduced with the Season 1, and still now with the Season 2 Battle Pass, was there was no addition of a decent anti-cheat system. I told you, man.
He's aiming at the fucking doors!
He's aiming at the walls.
There's almost always more to learn.
Look at him!
My man. Oh, I don't know how to report people. Oh.
Anyone can be there.
Oh my god.
Chico.
Oh no. So in case you didn't already know this, Apex Legends actually runs on the Source engine. So this is the same engine used for games like Counter-Strike. So this means that there are a lot of cheating software out there already that can be modified to work for Apex. And this is likely only a permanent issue on PC, I understand, because consoles aren't as big an issue for cheating. But if there were going to be a competitive scene for Apex Legends, it was always going to be on PC anyway. So I don't think the console, not that it's not relevant to this discussion, but I'm only going to be talking about the PC side, because if there was a competitive scene, the largest competitive scene would be on PC, and PC also has the cheating problem. So, at launch, the game didn't have any way to report a player easily, so you couldn't report from in the game using the spectate feature. So in that clip I just showed you, I had no easy way of reporting the person that was clearly cheating. So the way you had to do it was by going through Origin. You had to get the person's name correct, including capitalization, which obviously isn't easy. You would then have to fill out this form and go through it. I'll put it up on screen now. You couldn't just click a button and report like you can now, so I am glad they've added a report feature, but it really should have been there at launch. Also, for the original report feature, I had to enable Origin in-game, which is just a terrible thing to have. I don't want to have to enable Origin in-game, which tanks my FPS to be able to report someone who's aimbotting. It just doesn't make any sense. So I can't report the cheater easily. With the addition of ranked in season, along with the Season 2 Battle Pass and the Season 2 map changes in Watson, I've noticed streamers and people grinding ranked noticing an uptake in cheaters, which makes a lot of sense. You introduce a ranked mode, people want to win, people start cheating to try and gain an advantage because they can't win by their own skills. So one of the streamers that I watch quite a lot, because he comes from Overwatch also, is Mendo Kusai, and he's been talking at length about the amount of cheaters he runs into on a daily basis playing ranked. And the higher you get in the ranks, the more you're going to run into them, because they don't seem to get banned easily. They're in the game for whole days playing against him, and there's nothing that you can do about it. He just loses games because these people have an unfair advantage because they're cheating. So I think that one of the things Apex needs to do if it wants to be a competitive game, if it wants to have that ranked system work functionally, is add a good anti-cheat system, or the ability for trusted people like streamers that have a professional background in gaming, things like that, give them the ability to put people forward for banning for review, so that they can look at them on a case-by-case basis, and if they are found to be cheating, ban them. This is a system that's been used in other games, just to make sure that the people that are cheating, if they are caught on stream, anything like that, the devs then look at that and can ban them because there's 100% certainty that they're cheating. So I think there's a lot of ways that they can solve this, but it does need to be fixed if they want the integrity of the ranked mode to be intact. So before I got into this topic, I just want to say that it's personally the biggest issue for me and why I struggle to play the game for any length of time. This is the bugs and the server issues. So again, this is why I don't play the game as much anymore. You know, primarily at my core, I'm a competitive player. You know, I play games to improve, to learn, to get as good as I can. So it may come as a surprise. I'm in no rush for them to add the competitive mode. Like I said earlier, I'm in no rush for them to add the ranked mode. The reason for this is because I don't want them to rush it. I wanted it to come out and be good. I wanted them to have all the problems with the servers fixed, all the glitches fixed, everything balanced out and ready, and then add the ranked mode so it was as fair as possible. So the game is new, and making a ranked system takes a long time. So learning the game for me is enough. When a game is new, all I need to kind of keep playing the game is learning the game, and that's how I kept playing for so long at launch. So that for me now is ruined, however, when I can't be as good as I am because of something that's not up to me. So in the opening clip of this video, you saw I was in a tricky spot, and I got shot through a door twice. That's an example of one of the bugs I've been experiencing constantly. It's like the servers are 5 tick. I'll be round a corner and over in fucking the other side of the map, and I'll get peacekeepered by the guy that's just following me. It's ridiculous. I close the door and I get one pump through the door. It makes no sense. And this is a huge problem for BR games in general because of the general RNG that's involved. But for me, Apex was actually quite good for swerving the whole RNG nature of Battle Royale games, because the mechanics were so skill based that you could outdo someone if they had a better gun than you. But what absolutely kills this game for me are the server problems. Since launch, the game has had horrendous server issues. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. It caused people to be, you know, kicked from the game at the start of the game. This was fixed. So also at the start of a match sometimes, actually quite a lot of the time for me, the server will be so buggy that it's like you're in slow motion, and it just completely ruins any drive I have to play the game. If I jump on and my first game or second game this happens, I just close the game. I just alt F4 the game, because there's no point in playing that. It's like playing in syrup. I can't fight anyone, I can't have any fun. So yeah, the second this happens to me, I just want to play something else. There are also countless bugs and exploits in this game that haven't been fixed. You know, to name just a few, there's the infinite portal bug that was in the game for ages. There was the infinite wraith bug that was in the game for basically ever. This seems to have been caused by Respawn just refusing to update their game at all. You know, you've got Pathfinder. Let me put up a clip here of me shooting Pathfinder in the chest with a triple take and getting a hit reg on him, but not a hit mark or any damage. Dude, Pathfinder's hitbox is so broken. This kind of thing is what kills a game for a competitive player. Things like hitboxes not matching the player model, things like too much RNG, things like bad players being able to win because they do a bug, or you're lagging out of the server from no issue of your own. You know, I can play 10 hours of Overwatch in a day and have one connection issue max. If I play Apex Legends for 20 minutes, I'll join a server that's bugged out and I can hardly move. So this is why the game, in my opinion, is struggling, because they haven't got the basics, but they're trying to push on to things like a ranked mode and things like that. I think they need to not slow down. They need to do more updates on things like bugs, glitches, fix fucking Pathfinder. You know, things like that. They need to fix these things before it alienates more players like myself that actually care about, you know, the competitive integrity of a game, and not just, oh, it has a ranked mode now, that's good. The next thing I want to talk about that's somewhat in relation to this are updates. So this game is losing, as I call it, the normie relevance, okay? You know, all joking aside, a game like Apex, Fortnite, Blackout, PUBG, any game, even things like Overwatch, you know, that have these huge esports scenes, they can't live, you know, from just purely a competitive player base. Unfortunately, it's not possible unless they have a huge competitive player base. They cannot live from just their they're like ranked competitive players. Keeping a casual player base is extremely important, especially for a battle royale game, because it keeps the lights on at Respawn. It pays them to make things like the competitive game, to do the balance patches, to do the updates for content, things like that. But this hasn't been done by Respawn at all. Fortnite is pretty clear evidence that small regular updates with new content is what keeps the general player base happy. You know, the players that jump on every night for an hour or 2 hours, want to play a bit of a game with their friends, they like these little updates often, because every time, a couple of times they jump on, something's different, something's new, they can try it out, it's fun. This hasn't been done in any way by Respawn, and so their game is dropping in popularity. And it's clear why. I mean, the first couple of months of the game, there was radio silence from Respawn. They did nothing, and when they did do something, they added an underwhelming energy weapon. Only people that played the game a lot thought, oh, this is different, I'll use it. I mean, it wasn't that useful. The hype is worn off, and now there's just no new content for these people that just want to jump on and play with their friends a little bit to do. So I think to summarize my points for the updates, they don't update their games small and regularly, little updates regularly, which is what Battle Royale games seem to thrive from, is these often but small updates. Not these, they're doing these huge releases of seasons with really underwhelming battle passes. I mean, comparing I had a look at the Fortnite battle passes. Comparing the Fortnite battle pass and the Apex Legends battle pass is a joke. The skins in the battle passes are, especially season 1, they're pitiful. And it takes so much grinding to get the levels up in the battle pass, because there's nothing like the challenges. There were no challenges season 1, to get those. They did add the what was it, Beast of the Hunt event. That was quite good. I did enjoy that, the Beast of the Hunt event. But again, I had to play a bunch of games, and in those games I had laggy servers, so I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have because of the bugs. But yeah, the game's losing popularity, and I think it's pretty clear why. They need to fix the basics of their game before they go on to a ranked mode. I do think the ranked mode that they've added is good. The basics of it. It's a good system. The grind your way up. You don't do placements. You don't start at a rank. You grind from the lowest rank to the highest rank. I think they're going to run into some problems with player base at the higher ranks. When you start getting to like say diamond and above, you're going to start having really long queue times early on because of the lack of people that are that high. I also don't understand the way they've done grouping. I know it's to reduce smurfing, but points are individualised anyway, so if your team get kills, you don't get any of the points. But if you stack with your friends who's just started playing ranked, and you're a plat player, that your friend who's bronze, bronze 4 has to queue up plat players with like a 10-minute queue time. It's just a bit ridiculous. I think having an averaged out rank is a bit more fair. So basically, I hope they have plans to fix things, especially things like the new hop-ups, because they're busted. I hope they have plans to actually take the game somewhere and not just they've made their money and now they're just put that out for courtesy. Hopefully they can fix up the rank system, they can get a bit more relevance and make it work, because I do think the game has a lot of potential. As the title at the beginning says, I think it is a loss of potential. I don't think it was a bad game to start with. I don't think it was doomed. I think it is a strong base of a game. They just need to work out their bugs and iron out their game a bit. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. It is a long video today. It has been a while since I made a video. It's exam season over now and things like that. And I also had to remake this video twice because of new content drops. I had it sitting and I was thinking of things I wanted to say, and then boom, season 2 comes out with Watson, and I've got to make a whole thing, start looking at the ranked mode, start understanding how that works, see if the battle pass was any better, see if it's gained any more relevance. So yeah, it did set me back a bit with the season 2 thing coming out, but I'm glad they added it. So yeah, hopefully the game can get itself back on track. And I wouldn't say I'm optimistic, I would just say I'm hopeful. I think from now on the channel, I'll still be doing Apex stuff, hopefully more regularly now that I'm past exams and things. I'll probably do a bit of Overwatch stuff as well. Some of you might not like that. You don't have to. Don't watch it if you don't like it. If you like Apex stuff and you want to see more of what I do leave a subscribe. I will be doing more Apex. If you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. So yeah, if you have any tips or things, because I'm new to this, just pop it in the comments. No wrong answers. If anything was wrong. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you next time.